Days come and go, each day is different, very different. After the storm, there's a real wind shortage for the leaders. For the first time since the start, they've barely sailed 200 miles in 24 hours.
You know, I haven't really had any light wind days really since the start, so this is a chance to really give the boat a bit of a health check, look around, because hopefully I'll be going around Cape Horn around Christmas time.
This abrupt slowdown suits well the direct pursuers Jérémy Bayou and Paul Meillat, who've now shortened the gap with the leaders. We're heading towards a complicated Pacific Ocean because the anticyclone is split up, and so the low-pressure system can't back into place, which means it's going to be long for everyone. Behind is still tonic, but with weather conditions way more pleasant, so to boost the morale. We are happy to announce we passed the midway mark of the race, meaning we are now making our way back to our home point. South of Tasmania, Thomas Ruyon will be the 8th competitor to enter the Pacific Ocean. I'll be more relaxed, shall we say, more in my element. I think once in the Pacific, where options and trajectories are more wide. It's true that in 2 or 3 days the passage will be blocked up, and I keep looking for the best way to deal with this level crossing. It's a crucial time in this Vendee Globe. I'm going to have to be extra careful with myself and with the boat in the next 2-3 days. At more than 800 miles behind Thomas, Louis Burton is way more serene. We just crossed through Cape Lewin. Australia is right there on the left. I'm really happy, and we have a clear blue sky, sunshine and all. See you.
A plus. Make sure the boat is at 100%, the skipper's at 100% for the ascent back up the Atlantic. Meantime, a low-pressure system for the Gang of Four, for Enda O'Coinin, for Eric Bellion, for Rich Wilson and Alan Rura. Quite muscular conditions, 35, 40 knots. Meantime, just 65 miles between Jan Elias, Jean Le Cam and Jean-Pierre Dick, who came in through the Bass Strait, and some recovery, some comeback for Jean-Pierre Dick in the meantime. We're joined today by our special guest is Jerry Trontezeau. More than 20 years of all kinds of offshore and ocean racing. He was third in his first solitaire back, I think, in 1984. Several goes at the Admiral's Cup. Won the Commodore's Cup with France, and I think the last Sydney Hobart class win, and also the Fastnet race is another victory for Jerry. Jerry has done, and the Route de Rome. I think you did, I think 10 years ago. Is that right?
Yes, it was 10 years ago. Yeah, really.
And that was your Vendee Globe.
No, the Vendee Globe is too difficult. And, it was a dream when I was young, but it's very now you can see the Vendee Globe. You are not obliged to do it. You can see the Vendee Globe at the TV.
But that Route de Rome was your Vendee Globe, wasn't it? You said that at the time.
But the Vendee Globe was special, and it was to cross the Atlantic alone, and it was my Vendee Globe. Yeah.
Indeed. We'll come back to you in a minute, Jerry, and we've got Guillaume again interpreting for the different French skippers. We had a few skippers on earlier on in the live. He's going to give us a roundup for what's been happening with the French skippers. Meantime, let's have a look at the 3D at midday, how things stand in the fleet. We're looking first of all at Jean-Pierre Dick coming through the Bass Strait. First time in the race that's happened, and he's made a nice little bit of catch-up. Just 65 miles between the three, Elias, Le Cam and Dick at the moment. Going back to Thomas Ruyon in the Pacific. He's getting into the Pacific tomorrow night. We're just looking at Paul Meillat and Jérémy Bayou, close between them. Armel Leclerc and Alex Thompson up the front. Alex just losing a few miles at the moment. As said, Thomas Ruyon getting into the Pacific tomorrow night. Then Louis Burton at Cape Lewin this morning at 3:19 in the morning. Stéphane Le Deraison and Nandor Fa, that match race, Hungary versus France. Then the group behind in some strong wins. There we're seeing the Gang of Four. And going back down the fleet, Pieter Heerema, who we hope to speak to, is up in the north. Has had some quite tough conditions, 40 knots, but he should be getting out of that. Didac Costa then 350 miles ahead of the chasing pair. That's Roman Atanasio and the ubiquitous Sebastian Destremo. They're only 8 miles apart at the moment. So that's the situation with the fleet just now. Jerry, you spoke with Sebastian Destremo. What was he was on fire, really, wasn't he?
It was incredible because he seemed so cool and so happy to be on the boat. And he's a great sailor. And
I think that's what you haven't to lose sight of, the fact that he's larger than life character, but a very, very good experienced sailor.
Yeah, of course, it's the first time that he is alone, but the family Destremo is a very good family.
Very famous. We have Pieter Heerema joining us from No Way Back. Peter, how are you today?
Yeah, hi there. Well, today is okay. We had a beautiful, fantastic night. Unbelievable, super big swell. But it was a nice rolling swell. On top of that, there was a full moon. It was just unbelievable. It was silver splash all over and super high speed because the boat can really go. Later on, the waves came back, and then you just have to throttle back a little bit. And just now, it's starting to get a little bit flatter again, so I can speed up again a bit. Things are fine. As you hear, my communication system seems to be working a bit better now. I've had a lot of problems the last few days. Not receiving mails and not being able to phone, but I think I keep my fingers crossed anyway that the problems are over. Don't ask me what it is. I've been plugging and unplugging anything that I could find, but this electronic stuff doesn't mean a lot to me, and switching it on and off and on and off, and having a lot of difficult contact with the shore, but trying a lot of things, and I hope maybe, I have to be very careful here, the problem is for the time being solved. So yeah, things are good.
And Peter, all the time your confidence in the boat and yourself is increasing, and you're going a little bit quicker.
I did hear something about confidence. One thing that was scary this morning, as I was waiting for the call this morning, the boat suddenly went on its side. Tacked in a few seconds, kept on turning, jibed with a terrible smash. So I was lying flat on my stomach, fearing that the mast was coming down. When I looked up carefully and I saw a sail. That was a big relief. And when I looked again, I saw to my not believing eyes that even the battens were in one piece. So no damage happened, but it's incredible with what sort of bad software and bad equipment companies send people like us out on the open ocean, because it's so dangerous. It is so unbelievably dangerous what happens. But this time I escaped, and there's nowhere else to go. Cape Town is impossible to reach. It's back upwind. That's impossible. And Australia is another 2,500 miles. I mean, that's a sort of Atlantic crossing away. So I have no other choice than to just continue and hope, keep my fingers crossed that the autopilot keeps working. But it's very treacherous because it worked beautiful for, I don't know, 24 hours, and then suddenly it gets an itch, and it goes totally crazy. I mean, the boat was on totally upside down. I did a 360 in the horizontal plane. Then in a few seconds, it's super dangerous. But for the rest, I'm fine, if there's any rest.
And have you had any time to rest at all? Is there any downtime?
Yeah, I just go to sleep because there's no choice. You cannot stay up for 2,500 miles. So I just go to sleep and hope that it doesn't happen while I'm asleep, because I would be thrown out of my bunk and then I would crash down to the lower side, which is 4 or 5 meters down, break all my ribs, arms, everything. It's just a disaster waiting to happen. And these companies that deliver this crap are one of these days they're going to meet a client who's going to sue them big time, and rightly so, because they just keep on plugging in new items and new software and new this and new that, and it's all nonsense. I mean, we don't need all that stuff. We just need a straight up and down autopilot. And it's all this electronic designer geeks that really ruin a system. It's so unstable. I mean, but then you don't find all this crap on the fishing boat or on the tugboat. This is all way too modern, way too advanced stuff that is designed behind a screen and a board, and has nothing to do with seamanship or seaworthiness.
Sounds like you've been having your battles, Peter. How are your sales? You mentioned some problems with them the other day.
About my sales, you say?
Yes. How are they?
Well, the moths have not come back, and the patches that I stuck in, 6 of the 7 are holding really well. One seems to be coming loose a little bit. So the next time I'm in a low wind area, I'll quickly put a patch over that patch. They seem to be holding out okay.
And Peter, what's in store for the weather for the next 24 hours for No Way Back? What's going to happen over the next 24 hours?
Well, here in the Indian Ocean, you always have to be very respectful of your forecasts, both the ones that you make yourself and the ones that you get, because in 24 hours things can change big time, as we've seen. But as I look at it right now, I'm coming under the influence of a high pressure. It's clearing up now outside. It means that the wind will ease a little bit. I'm steering a little bit away from it sideways so that I keep wind. So it looks actually very good for me at least, for the coming 3-4 days, because I'll be on the edge of the high pressure, still making good speed, and then working up to a new front, but that doesn't look too aggressive. Looks all fine. The guys just in front of me are, well, I think they are going to get a whipping still, but that has passed me yesterday and below me without being too influential. So for me, it's okay.
That's very good news. Peter, as ever, a pleasure to speak with you. We'll join you again on No Way Back in a few days' time. Thank you, Peter.
All right, we speak in a few days then. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
So Pieter Heerema carrying on a fairly conservative course in general. Jerry, what are your thoughts on Pieter Heerema? He has a very good boat and a mature skipper.
I'm very impressed because it's terrific to sail alone on this in the Indian Ocean, and congratulations. I like the name of the boat, No Way Back. So
he's just saying that, isn't he? He's saying he's too far to go back to Cape Town, too far to go to Australia.
Now he has to finish the race, yeah.
So carrying on with our theme of Thomas Rion, he's the first skipper since 2001 to take the Vendee Globe, coming from the north of France.
Yeah, Thomas is a very nice skipper. He was one of my crew on Courrier Dunkerque 10 years ago, and he won the Mini Transat, he won the Route du Rhum in class 40, and he seems very well, very strong, and it's his first Vendee Globe. He's the second bisu, so
second rookie.
Rookie, you say rookie, yeah?
That's right.
And I think he will finish the race. Yeah.
And explain to me this collection of businesses in the north who support him, the Souffle du Nord.
Yeah, the Souffle du Nord is an association with approximately 200 companies, big and small, and more than 1,000 of supporters. And you can see publicity on the boat, only the name of the association, and also we are supporting charity. So it's an incredible association.
And that association has been with Thomas for a while, is it?
So at first, the first keeper of the Souffle du Nord was Armel and Armel demised, so we choose a new skipper, and Thomas was from our region and
From Dunkirk.
from Dunkirk. Yeah.
But you say he sailed with you back in 2005.
Yeah, he was on Courrier Dunkerque, the MAM 30, and
You could see his talent then, could you?
yes, of course.
He stood out.
I couldn't imagine that he will raise the Vendee Globe, but he won the Mini Transat and he won after the Route du Rhum, so it's a serious and very good.
He's
good
going well.
sales, yeah.
We have a skipper online. We have Nandor Fa. Nandor Fa on the Spirit of Hungary. Nandor, how are you?
Hi Andy, hi everybody. I'm okay. I'm just listening to you.
Tell me, Nandor, the last day, the last 24 hours, how's it been on the Spirit of Hungary?
Oh yeah, that was a really tough sailing because the weather and the wind is very treacherous. There are gust clouds and nothing is stable. The big cross waves. And all the time I had to jump and doing something. I reefed in and out at least 10 times the mainsail. So it was a really tough working day, the whole night and day today.
And Nandor, are you enjoying this this race with Stéphane Le Deraison? You're quite close. Is it quite motivating for you?
Oh yes, this is interesting. It was a real race in between us as long as I had my sails. But in the last 2-3 days we had that kind of strong running conditions where I missed very much my lost A7 Jenneker, and Stefan is faster than me. So this is not a real race. When the wind will be different angle or stronger, I can be back in the race, or just tactically I can race with him. By the boat speed I can't. But anyway, I'm happy to be as close as we are, and maybe the future will be more interesting.
And do you have any problems with the boat? I understand you have a small problem with the keel.
Yes, something I hit, I don't know what was that, because just broke the backside of the keel. There's a fairing, composite fairing on the inox keel blade, and all over about 3 meters long, this fairing has been broken. And this is not a static problem. This is not a danger for me, but the flow is not really good. I can hear the voice, I can hear the noise of it, and I feel my boat is running on a different feeling. So it's not really good. But on the other hand, the boat is all right, and we are sailing safely.
Good. Nandor, talk to me about food. Do you have any? Are you happy with the choices you made, the food you've taken with you, and do you have any particular favourites?
I've got quite a lot of different types, different nations of Leophilis foods and wet food, which is in bag. And I can tell you I like much better the bag foods, I mean the wet food. And last time I just purchased some bomb bag food, which is the French one. And I can tell you this is the most delicious and the nicest food I ever had. Fortunately, I've got enough, and I enjoy it very much. So the food now is really easy and much more delicious than was years ago.
And Nandor, are you happy with your music selection that your daughters have sent you?
You know, I'm quite happy with all the things I have. This is really updates, and I don't have heating in my boat, so my heating is the clothes and the food. And sometimes I'm moving. In the night I was jogging here inside of the boat because I was really cold, and I started to jog, and at half an hour I was jogging inside, and that was the heating. So it is really good. but because of the weight, we are taking out everything from our boats, and there is no this kind of solution. Last night I was running the engine for 20 minutes just to heat up, and I dried up some soaks on it, and my hand, that was all.
Nander, and presumably you have better clothing this time to stay warm than when you did your first race.
Everything is different. The boats are really different, and also the weather information, the meteo tactic, we know quite well everything. I can download the best grips is possible. All the information, I have some information, some gale warnings from the organizers. So by information, this is really good. The boats are faster, but I can tell you there is a price of this speed, because there's much more work, much more sail changes, and I guess in spite of that, it is more enjoyable. There's more work also.
Nander, as ever, a pleasure, a real privilege to speak with you. You're doing a great race so far, and we'll join you again in a few days. Thank you, Nander.
Thank you very much. See you later. See you next time. Bye-bye, Andy. Bye-bye, everybody.
So there you have it, Nander Fa on the Spirit of Hungary. Just mentioning that he's had this small problem with the fairing at the back of the keel. He obviously hit something a while ago, and it's just a little composite fairing. It's no structural damage. Sherry Trontezeau, a complete encyclopedia of French sailing we have with you here. You sailed previously with on the first Figaro against Jean Le Cam, same age as you.
Yeah, well, yes, probably one year. He's 67, I think, 57.
Steady now.
And yes, I sailed the Figaro 85 or 86 against him. Yeah, it was a tough, very tough sail.
He's still there doing his fourth Vendee Globe, and he's going fantastic. It's just experience, isn't it? It's just about his experience.
I think that he like to be offshore, and of course he has a lot of experience, and it was he won 3 Figaros. It's an incredible sailor.
And are you surprised he's doing so well?
No, I think he can be on the top, but he probably has not the best boats to do that.
But he doesn't get any slower with age, does he?
I can't understand that they can be so powerful.
Yeah.
But
I mean, he's just behind Jan Elias, who's
but
a lot younger.
on 85 and 86, we were racing against the father of Jan Elias, Patrick Elias. So so it's one generation of difference.
Incredible,
yeah.
Anyway, that's Nander Fa, and also talking about Jean Le Cam, who's very close with Jan Elias and Jean-Pierre Duc, two younger skippers. Let's have a look at the weather situation as it stands just now. Leaders are in light airs, a big low at the back, and then this is the meteo today, and looking forward to the next 24 hours. Still all too peaceful for Alex Thomson and Armel at the front in the Pacific. Still dealing with a low pressure system. Still stormy for Jan Elias and Jean Le Cam, and a nice advance perhaps for Jean-Pierre Duc. Let's start off looking first of all at the front of the fleet. Then, as I say, still light winds for Alex Thomson, for Armel just under this little low pressure in light winds. And if we look at tomorrow, then it does improve very slightly, but they do have this band of a blue air here, which is light breeze, light northerlies that they're trying to get across into the back of this high pressure where there is a stronger northerly flow. So there should be still an advance for Alex Thomson and Armel, but it's still quite slow for them at the moment. Now looking at Jean-Pierre Duc, well, Jean-Pierre Duc's passage up through the Tasman is perhaps even going to pay off a dividend. He's got really nice conditions today, southwesterly 25 knots and flatter seas. He's coming down from the north, and he may indeed get past. This is Jan Elias and Jean Le Cam. They've still got big seas at the moment, still 8 meters, 30-35 knots in the gusts. Looking then at tomorrow, we'll see that the passage underneath the high pressure is good for for Jean-Pierre Dick in general. Slightly lighter airs, but he should still be going quite well. And you look at Jan Elias and Jean Le Cam moving forward, and they will have still 30, 35 knots tomorrow. Looking then at Paul Mea and Jeremy Bayou, their situation is they're in kind of 10 to 15 knots at the moment, quite light in this ridge of high pressure just at the front of the low. And then looking at them for tomorrow, then they're just the low pressure just catches them up, so it should improve for them tomorrow. Then the situation for the second group, for the second half, well, there are 2 low pressure systems they're riding at the moment, and 2 high pressures up in the north. So the group here, well, the gang of 4 that we talk about, they're really in the strongest part of the low pressure system just now, and the breeze is around about 30 to 40 knots, so that's for Enda O'Coinin, for Alan Rura and Rich Wilson. Further underneath the high, then looking here, then there's quite reasonable breezes. Nice situation here for Conrad Coleman. But if we look at tomorrow for Conrad Coleman, you can see that he's into stronger winds as the low pressure catches up with him. He's got a slightly more aggressive positioning than Arnaud Boissier and Fabrice Amadeo up in the north. And at the back of the fleet, looking today, nice 25, 30 knot winds. Sorry, that was for tomorrow. But looking at today, they're a nice northwesterly flow for Didac Costa and here in the blue, and Roman Atanasio and Sebastian Destremo. And as I say, tomorrow this low pressure building for them, and they'll get stronger winds for the back 3 tomorrow. And looking also up here at Pieter Heerema, strong winds for him today. He's in 40 knots, and then tomorrow he gets up to the high and lighter conditions. So say light at the front and lots of action at the back of the fleet today in the weather situation. So that's the weather situation looking forward to tomorrow. Guillaume, a little roundup of what the French skippers have been saying, starting off with Thomas Rion.
Yeah, we had him in the French live. He was in shape and very confident after all the repairs he did on his boat. He thinks it's now ready to face the Pacific. He's got closer to the boat in front of him, but now maybe he will be back at his place because he has to face a storm. So maybe he will slow down to preserve the boat and to be ready after. Maybe he will slow down near Tasmania.
And Sebastian Destremo.
Yeah, we had good fun.
What an enigma.
We had good fun with Sebastian because he's just enjoying his adventure. He's last of the Vendee Globe, but he's a great character. And he told us he could go faster, but he just wants to preserve his boat too, to finish the race. And his goal is really to be at the end, to be in Les Sables d'Olonne. We had fun because he compared Albatros to an Airbus A380. And he will continue like this with a big smile, and he will enjoy it.
He certainly does. He's had his problems, but he's certainly enjoying his race and really adding another dimension to the whole this 8th edition of the Vendee Globe. Alan Rura is in a little bit of a storm just now, 30 knots. The Benjamin of the course, the youngest skipper, I think, at 24. He is a real public display of affection. He sent flowers to his girlfriend from the Southern Ocean and really has put the cat among the pigeons for the rest of us mere males. And this is Alan Rura when we spoke to him in English earlier today.
We have pretty condition, about 40 knots of wind, 90 degrees in real wind, so pretty tough. Quite big waves, but still not the right size. They might be bigger tomorrow. We are in a condition quite difficult, and tomorrow it's going to be worse. About 3 reefs on the main and the J3, and I'm still going up to 18 knots, so that's pretty cool, but pretty tough work. I can't even eat, can't sleep. I can do anything, just lay down and wait that this shit weathers go far away from us. But it's quite cool because I'm around Enda and Rich, so we are like a fleet, and mentally it's better. We feel not that alone on the same condition. We are 3 boats on the same condition, and that's pretty much better.
Listen, tell us about sending your flowers to Aurélie.
Yeah, that was our 3 years that we met. That was important to send us some flowers for the
the case, which is I meet her and just come to show her that I love her, even if I'm really far away from her. And yeah, it makes me feel better before going on that storm. And yeah, I hope that she's happy. She looks like she's happy, so that's good point for me.
So Jerry Trentezo, Alan Ruder sending flowers from the Southern Ocean to his girlfriend. It makes it very difficult for us men, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's difficult, but it's a good idea. I try to do the same next time.
The next time, indeed. But Jerry, you've watched all the Vendee Globes since the first edition. How does this one compare?
The difference is the communication with the boat. I remember the first one, we were supporting Patrice Carpentier, and sometime during the night, Saint-Lys Radio, which was the only system to call from the sea, called me and said, do you want to call with...
you say, no business.
I'm sleeping. And it was incredible. And now you can see the pictures and all the guys. I am very impressed.
And it hasn't lost any of its magic. Do you think it's better for the communication? It brings it into people's living rooms and onto their computers?
I don't know, because I think when you are on a boat, you want to
be alone.
To be alone and to be with the nature. And
cool. Well, when you do that,
yeah.
When you do the Vendee Globe,
no,
no. Anyway, Jerry, thank you very much indeed. A real pleasure to have you on the plateau. Guillaume, join us again tomorrow.
My pleasure.
That's all we have time for today. Join us tomorrow, the same time, the same place, for the Vendee Globe in English.
Thank you. Merci.
Thank you.
Hi, welcome aboard the Kilcullen Voyager. 39th day at sea. Wow, can you imagine? I'm huddled down below here, braced down for a storm. It's blowing about 33 knots at the moment, just a few knots short of gale force. We are expecting some really heavy weather. It's from the north, which worries me a bit because I'm worried about being blown down over the ice cage. We took the southern route around the depression. Some other boats went north, but I think the southern might get us through us quicker and safer, and also a bit faster. It's really the build up to the storm, and this week in Paris, John Montagu died, a very famous poet. They're burying him in Dublin. But I take from his poem the sea, the water, in the build up to the storm, luminous, bleached, white water, that light in the narrows before a storm breaks. Luminous, bleached, white water, that light in the narrows before a storm breaks. And that's what's happening. This glorious daylight with the light in the narrows is sharp as we get ready for the storm. But I think we will survive and we will overcome. It's been a tough 2 weeks since we entered the Indian Ocean. 2 days ago I did something I never really want to have to do again, which was climb the mast in a big swell and 20 knots of breeze. I had two choices, either do it that way or do it in the shelter of the Kerguelen Islands, discovered in 1772 by a Frenchman. I can only imagine sailing in those ships in that 300 years ago in that part of the ocean, how they did it. Anyhow, he named the islands, so my choice was to go there for shelter or do it in the ocean. I did it in the open ocean. I wore a clash helmet, I had special climbing gear, and inch by inch. You had to do it very slowly because if you swing at all, you bang against the mast and do a lot of damage. What happened was my second reef came out in an accidental gybe and crashed the leading gybe, which had a cause and effect insofar as the loose lines wrapped around the halyards, and then there was an emergency halyard and it got jammed. At the end of the story, it was a bit of a clusterfuck, so I had to go up to the mast because I could only set one sail. Oops, it's hard here going around. I could only set one sail. It was like a car with only one gear. So I did it. It's taken me a day to recover. I was physically exhausted. we did climb the mast, we got the job done. Now heading up towards Australia. Hope to be south of Tasmania by about 400 miles for Christmas. So it's all good. We've survived this far. So thank you very much for your support and interest in the voyage of the Kilcullen. We're almost halfway, and I really look forward to getting to the finish. So this is Kilcullen Voyager here, out 15th of December 2016. Happy Christmas.
Well, it's good morning from the Southern Ocean Pacific side. I'm about 10 hours different from GMT, so it's just getting light here, and nice at the moment. We're pointing to the east, so going in the right direction, which is good. Tricky night, a few stacks to do over a period of 10 hours, changing your tacks, but had a nice little burst on starboard for a few hours, which was quite nice. Got the foil involved, I enjoyed that, but it doesn't look like there'll be much more of that for a while. But currently it's about 9 days to Cape Horn. Now that's generally the theme of what's happening. Probably going to go around on Christmas Day, but it's changing. The situation is changing a lot, and sometimes I've got Banque Populaire 2.5 days ahead. Sometimes Banque Populaire's 12 hours ahead, and sometimes the guys behind are within a day of me. So the situation is fluid, shall we say. It's changing a lot. I'm trying not to get frustrated about it. There is nothing I can do, so there is no point in getting frustrated. So I'm just trying to keep my decision making reasonable. Try not to take any flyers. Try not to do anything that jeopardizes the position I'm in. And keep searching. Every single weather forecast comes in, I'm checking it there on the button to see what's going on and adjust my course accordingly. I am having a bit of weirdness. When I'm sleeping, I'm dreaming that I'm not on the boat on my own, and then when the alarm goes off to say the wind speeds exceeded my set alarm, then I kind of half wake up and think, oh, it's all right, so and so. Usually my brother or a friend of mine, Josh, will go and ease the mainsail, and of course suddenly a few seconds later I realise there's nobody on board who's going to ease the mainsail, and I jump out of bed. But it's a bit of a strange dream to be having, but sometimes I wish it'd be nice to have somebody on board just to say hello to, but obviously that won't be happening for a while. As you can see, as is the Southern Ocean, we pan around, it's a world of grey, a total and utter, I would say 50 shades of grey. I think it's more like 100 shades of grey. There you go, the full 360. Hope you guys are having a good day. I hope I will too.
Bon là c'est chouette, j'ai des conditions sympas là pour quelques heures avant de négocier le petit coup de vent qui m'attend au sud de la Nouvelle-Zélande. Voilà, là c'est des conditions agréables parce qu'il y a le soleil qui a refait son apparition, ça faisait un moment. Et ouais, du coup là c'est agréable. Là, je suis sous le petit Génac avec de riz dans ma grand voile, il y a encore pas mal de houle, donc ça part bien dans les surfs là, comme vous pouvez voir. Wouhou. Voilà, je vais vous faire une petite vue de l'avant. Par contre là, depuis que je suis sous l'Australie, j'ai beaucoup moins d'oiseaux. Voilà, il y avait énormément dans l'Indien et là j'en ai plus. Voilà. C'est une présence assez rassurante. Voilà, bon, ils sont partis. Je vais vous faire aller un petit tour de l'intérieur du bateau. Tout le matériel qui est matossé. Hop, mon pieu. Là je sais pas si on voit devant, là j'ai toujours ma mule qui est en boule. Et je vais peut-être réussir à m'en occuper, il y a une phase de transition, donc j'attends ça. Voilà, la table à cartes. les cirés qui sèchent, la cuisine avec la nourriture du jour. Là aujourd'hui on a le droit à... Oh, on va pouvoir se faire des pâtes bolognaises. On va pouvoir se faire des pâtes bolognaises. Ah, des céréales et des lentilles. Et puis ce soir on va manger des pâtes au poulet et aux champignons. Voilà. Et bah, tout va bien à bord là. J'essaye de mettre un petit coup de clean. Voilà, et puis là ce matin c'est ambiance musique. Voilà, voilà, et puis là je pense que je vais bouquiner un petit peu ce matin. Voilà. Allez, à plus.